TFCon USA Chicago. Great seeing everybody. So with my return from TFCon Chicago, I found some interesting stuff at the dealer room, and that's always what I bring to this channel, is the interesting and the weird of Transformers, with once in a while some mainstream stuff here and there if it's worth talking about. But today is more of the weird. Now, about 6 months ago, I did a review on Transformers Adventures Toys R Us Optimus Prime. Well, it seems Takara Tomy brought us a new iteration of said character in his evolution, and now we have Transformers Adventure TAV EX Jeffrey Optimus Prime, an upscaled version of Toys R Us Optimus Prime with some new twists. So, this is Protoman, this is ProtoRetro, and let's do this.
ProtoRetro.
So here we have it, Transformers Adventures TAV EX Jeffrey Prime. The next evolution in the Toys R Us Prime character concept. This is from the special series Transformers Adventure Prime of Micron subseries, which is the second half of the Transformers Adventure line, also known as Robots in Disguise back home. This figure is more or less a evolution of what we had about 6 months ago, which was a Toys R Us promotion in, I believe it was April of 2016. Now, a lot has changed since then, and they've done new toolings and new ideas, and now Toys R Us is having its second exclusive with this bad boy right here. Now, first thing you're noticing off the bat is it's a different mold from the mini one here, of course. This is the Scout, I guess we'll call it. There's a lot of different terms for it. The larger scale, the legend, the not legend scale, the in-between. Some call it a regular scale. This is the Scout scale of the Optimus Prime toy. For us in the States, we knew it as the Optimus that came with the Optimus Bludgeon 2-pack in 2015 with all the armor pieces and everything. The Japanese, if you were a Japanese viewer and a collector, you knew it as TAV-41, which was Optimus with gravity and his gravity armor. Again, the armor pieces and everything. And then I believe they got it one more time with TAV-45 with the Optimus Grimlock 2-pack. That was the Supreme Armor set, and that was also with the Minicons or the Microns, Gravity and Volcano. So this is kind of one of the first ever single releases of this mold, because usually it was always packed as some kind of pack with something, or with a Minicon or whatever. What I really dig about, I just want to talk about the box art for a second, is that this time around they play up that his shoulder is holding some Transformer toys in there. Got a Bumblebee and what looks like some other sticking out of his shoulder there. So he stores toys in his shoulder, which I think is pretty cool. We'll get to the toy. Let's crack them open. Enough talk about the box. And then we'll talk about the character. So as always, I want to start in the vehicle mode, but just before that, let's touch up on that bio. So, let's translate this little sucker here. What essentially the bio says is that Jeffrey Prime is a evolution of the Toys R Us Optimus Prime, or TRU Optimus Prime. He's popular with the children, and because of the children's happiness with him, he has evolved or evolutioned into Jeffrey Prime. He possesses the Jeffrey Axe, which contains the smiles of children and gives the ability to return children who are unhappy or have a, quote, bad heart to happiness. That sums it up in a nutshell. Jeffrey Axe. So, what's different this time around with this iteration of this Prime? Well, let's bring in the original, the TRU Prime, the exclusive that you had to buy. Be sure to check my original video to get the whole story with this sucker. What was different this time around is because the budget permitted it, it had Tempograph stickers on both sides of the shoulders, so now you would have the detail on both sides instead of just in the robot mode. Second of all, now, because there was, I guess, more gang molding and plastic to work with, we have the more traditional Optimus Prime red cab as opposed to just the molded in color that had to be shared with all the other pieces. That's kind of something that was a carryover from the original mold. So this time around, because of, I guess, larger price point, more budget to work with, more to be had. Kind of a weird thing going on with the way that it's hanging up there, but can't be helped. That's just the way that the mold is. The Jeffrey axe, as we now learned it's called, stores on top there. Could be used as some kind of weapon, I guess maybe a cannon, but otherwise kind of looks better without it, with the smiles of children. So not much could be said really about the alt mode. Looks kind of nice. Nice little pieces here and there. Let's transform him. Pretty easy to transform. He kind of shares the same with this, but I'm going to just do a quick cut after I show you the transformation, just to show you a comparison of all the alt modes. Well, all the robot modes. So transformation is exactly the same as every other one of these primes. Split the arms. You're already halfway there. Take a guess where we're going. So, and up, and down, and here we are. So I'm going to take a quick cut, I'm going to transform everything else, and then we'll do some comparison shots. Now transformed in robot mode, we see right away that Jeffrey Prime, because of his price point, he has a lot more paint applications and pieces to be used for a better transformation and design as compared to his original Toys R Us Legend scale figure. Now, right off the bat, noticeable stuff is the way that the tempo graph is used on both sides, which was absent in the original. Paint on the shoulders there, paint on the forearms. The chest is done differently, again, mostly due to the limitness of the transformation that existed with the original, ending up with a much more, well, show-accurate robot mode, but also something that just looks a lot better than the original. The Jeffrey axe, as we now learned as it's called, fits in his hand for dynamic poses, looks really good. Also, something that was absent from the original that we only learned through the box art is the little yellow that's used on his antennas, probably to play up more of the giraffe motif of that of the original Toys R Us Prime, or based on Jeffrey, the mascot from Toys R Us. Same thing with the, we'll call it giraffe pattern print, although it looks more like stars. Pretty cool. For a scale comparison, here is a deluxe. So obviously, because it is more that scout scale, you are limited to your display. Maybe one day we will get a deluxe Jeffrey Prime if this one reaches more popularity. It's a Toys R Us exclusive, so we'll see how sales go in the good old home of Nippon in Japan and see how well he does. Otherwise, he can still hold deluxe accessories. So if you need him to hold your Star Saber sword or anything of that matter, he still can and looks great with it. Otherwise, not much that can be said. Jeffrey Prime is an awesome figure, an oddity, if you will, within the Transformers Adventures universe. And interestingly enough, still, due to the box, in this case, has a scan gimmick, which we will do right now just to round things off like we did last time. So it seems the scan gimmick this time around actually doesn't give you a bio of TRU or Toys R Us Optimus Prime or Jeffrey Prime, I guess, because while the original toy had a scan gimmick and gave him a little profile on the website, because this one has it on the back of the box, it just promotes, hey, be sure to buy toys and get the scan gimmick so you can get more gimmicks and more stuff to unlock in your app. Yeah, awesome. Anyways, that's all that can be said about the incredible Toys R Us Optimus Prime. I'd be lying if I said I'm hoping for a better iteration in a larger price point so we could get more of this character. He is pretty cool, his paint is awesome, and for what you get for his small little amount, I believe he is going approximately in Japan for 1,400 yen, which is about $15 to $14 right now in current exchange. Pretty awesome stuff. So if you could pick him up, get him. He's wacky, he's cool, he's a nice little gimmick, and well, you don't see stuff like this much anymore. So this is Protoman of ProtoRetro, and this has been a video review of Transformers Adventures Prime of Micron's TAVEX Jeffrey Prime. That's a mouthful. So till then, guys, take care, and as always, roll out.
Hey guys, like what you saw? Want to see more? Then be sure to like, comment, and subscribe this video. Also, don't forget to follow us on Twitter and like the Facebook group for all the latest updates from Protoman of ProtoRetro.